Dardilly. Dardilly is a commune in the Metropolis of Lyon in Auvergne-Rhône-Alpes region in eastern France. Its inhabitants are called Dardillois in French. Geography. An undulating town in the western Lyonnais, Dardilly is crossed to the east by the A6 autoroute and the RN6 and to the west by the RN7. Marked by a pleasanter, greener and more rural lifestyle, Dardilly's centre is only 20 minutes by car from the Lyons Peninsula. ITCL bus lines 3, 89 and by train from the St. Paul suburb Lausanne. Dardilly, with its 13.99 km tour, includes three valleys oriented north-south, the valley of Ruisseau de la Bef to the west, the valley of the Ruisseau des Planches and the valley of the Ruisseau de Cèze to the east. Its altitude varies between 260 and 390 meters, allowing exceptional views over the Mont Star, the Mont du Lyonnais and even on clear days the Alps from Vercors to Mont Blanc. The town also possesses 1.73 square kilometers of leafy forests of ones and 6.46 km tour farmland. Many paths for walkers, horse riders and mountain bikers crisscross these spaces. Chemin du Bois de Cèze walkers information Centre de la Bef, Chemin de la Thielaire, Centre de Chantemol, Chemin du Pont, Chemin des Sols. Bordering communes include Champagne, Mont-d'Or, Chobnez, Les Bains, Dalmartin, Eclay, Limoges, Les Yeux, Lateau de Salverny. History. The name Dardilly may originate from the Gallo-Roman name Dardilecus, if the town was founded in that period, but there is no historic proof for this hypothesis, although the remains of an aqueduct built by Claudius to bring the waters of the Brevine River, a tributary of the Azores, itself a tributary of the Saône, to Lyon, have been found nearby. More likely, the name Dardilly originated at the time of its first surviving mention, in the 10th century Cartelets of Auvergne Abbey, which possessed several lands here. In the Middle Ages, the village, constructed on a mound, was made up of a church dedicated to St. Pancras, an adjacent cemetery and about 20 houses. In 1210, at the time of the feudal wars, the Count of Bougie tried to seize the city of Lyon, and its then Archbishop, Renaud Roman II de Forest, fortified Dardilly as part of his defense of Lyon by building a wall and ditch around the existing settlement. In the time of Jean-Marie Vianney, the late 18th and early to middle 19th centuries, Dardilly was an agricultural and wine-growing town, with some beautiful houses built by wealthy people from Lyons who spent the summer months here. The population was about 1,500 inhabitants. At the end of the 19th century, the vines were ravaged by phylloxera, and many of the town's inhabitants left for Lyons to find work, bringing the population down to 982 in 1911. The vine growers that remained went over to growing fruit. In 1986, Pope John Paul Roman II visited Dardilly to see Vianney's birthplace on the occasion of the bicentenary of his birth. List of mayors. From name party, October 2017, Rose France Fornelin, Independent, June 1995, Michel Fullien, Independent, June 1990, Daniel Lemay, RBR, March 1989, Bernard Thomas, Independent, March 1971, André Vidal, Independent. Holders before this date are unknown. Demography. The active population of Dardilly is 3,546. Out of the employed residents of the commune, 25.6% work in Dardilly, 17.4% work in la Technopole économique de l'Ouest Lyonnais Technopolis of West Lyonnais commune, 52.3% work in another non-declared commune within the department and 4.7% work outside the department. Economic. Dardilly is made up of two principal and nearby commercial centres, one around the church of Saint Jean-Marie Vianney Dardilly-la-Basse, or Low Dardilly, the other around the church of Saint Claude Upper Dardilly, Dardilly-la-Hard. Some trades are also present along the Avenue de Verdun. The tourist complex of Port de Lyon, along the A6, includes many hotels and restaurants as well as a disco. Port de Lyon also has an Aon shopping centre. Dardilly belongs to the economic area west of Greater Lyon called Teclid, made up of 7 towns: La Tour de Salverny, École, Champagne, Mont-d'Or, Limoges, Dardilly, Tassin, La Demi-Lune, Charbonnières, Les Bains. In 2003, Teclid included 5,284 businesses, of which 896 were within Dardilly. This is mainly the 3PME/BMI small and medium industries and businesses, because 68.7% enterprises in Teclid have less than 2 employees. The activity of the businesses in Dardilly is divided up as follows. Primary, secondary, tertiary, unknown 3.2%, 13.2%, 82.4%, 1.2%. Style equals font weight, bold, font size 1.1 margin bottom 0.5 and distribution by sector. The agricultural sector is also important, with 9 businesses growing wine, apples. Social. Dardilly has several social action groups: the CCAS Centre, Communal d'Action Social, Art Community Social Action Centre, Maison de la Petite Enfance, or Nursery School, Retirement Home, La Bretonnière, CATA, Les Denis, Coordinaire Social and Employment Centres for the Handicapped. Many associations such as the Association de Service à Domicile Home Care Group, the Families Association, Dardilly Vie, and so on. Residences. The town had 1,700 buildings in 1982 compared to 821 buildings in 2005. Even though the town's buildings have remained very residential, with a majority being individually owned houses, many of its buildings are social housing. Environment. Dardilly participates in recycling by obliging its inhabitants to sort their waste into 2 distinct dustbins. The waste collection site of Champagne-Rhône-Alpes is open to the Dardillois. The town participates in the composting drive launched by Greater Lyon. Every home is reimbursed €30 on purchase of a composter. Schools. 3 nursery and primary schools: the Groupe Scolaire Grégoire Possange, the Groupe Scolaire des Noyeries, and the St. Joseph Private School. Dardilly is attached to the Jean-Philippe Rameau College de Champagne-Rhône-Alpes. Dardilly is attached to the Jean-Perrin Lycée and the La Martinière Lycée, both in Lyon. Dardilly has several vocational training schools: the CFA Philibert Delhomme Construction, Institut de Formation du Bâtiment et des Travaux Publics, Institute for Construction Training and Public Works, the François Rabelais Hotel Training School, and a Lycée of the Landscape and Environment. Culture. The Aqueduct, a cultural centre, contains a médiathèque, a ludothèque, a salle de spectacle or exhibition hall which hosts a cinema club and several rooms for societies. Exhibitions regularly occur in its hall. Dardilly has more than 35 associations in all areas: sport, music, theatre, arts, travel, twinning, and so on. Les Vendredis Baroques. Baroque Fridays is an annual festival of Baroque music, held in June in the Church of Saint Claude. People. Jean Vianney 1786-1859, Jules Coste 1840-1910, Laurent Bonnevet 1870-1957 also stayed near here. Rose Ione 1878-1936. Religion. The 2 churches, Saint Jean Marie Vianney and Saint Claude, make up the Catholic parish of Dardilly. Sites and monuments. The parsonage Manus St. Jean Marie Vianney Church, Saint Claude Church, the Bois de Cèze Vianney's birthplace, the oratory of Jean Marie Vianney, the anti-war monument to the dead, inscribed contre la guerre et ses victimes, la fraternité des peoples, the brotherhood of peoples against war and its victims, is one of France's pacifist monuments to the dead. The Palais Fort. Sport. About 20 sports associations and some businesses, e.g. a dance school, give a variety of sports opportunities in Dardilly. The town also has access to several sports facilities: the Moulin-Cown Complex Gym, Stadium, Dojo, tennis were built and enlarged in 2007, the Brocodé Stadium, soccer pitch and athletics track, the Roland Galard Gymnasium, climbing walls, the Palais Boulodrome, the Departamental Boulodrome, situated in the Port de Lyon. This large complex was inaugurated officially on 4 and 5 December 2006. At the crossroads for more than 20 years, the Departamental Boulodrome has thus left the South Gate to be reborn at the Port de Lyon. Installed on nearly 70 M2, this complex includes more than 4,500 M2 covered and open air dedicated to games, of which 1083 is air-conditioned, as well as a bar, a restaurant and a terrace. 10 games areas are up to international standard and allow the organization of competitions at the highest level. The Brocardère BMX track. Twin towns. Measures in Germany, Chorleywood, England, Nijmegen, Mauritania since 1987 into a commune twinning with Champagne-Rhône-Alpes and Limonest.